Back, everybody. It is now time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about those stories that have everybody talking.
We are joined today by local blogger Rochelle Fritsch. Jeff Wagner back with us. A Michigan homeowner forced from her home while another woman continues to live in it. This is like your worst nightmare.
The homeowner invited the woman to stay as a favor, not knowing she would soon have legal rights as a resident.
Should it be against the law to establish legal residency without the homeowner's consent? I mean, there was a situation like this. Was it out east with a nanny? They couldn't get the nanny to get out.
Got a guest room I can shack up in for a night or two there, Jeff?
Well, see, no. See,
see, now I cannot take up residency in your home.
And that's the answer. See, this is, I know people are listening to us talk about this, and they're going, what are these crazy people on television talking about? But this is the reality. All these different states have really, really strange laws about what happens when you invite someone into your home. And the law varies from state to state. But you invite somebody into your home, and you let them stay for an indefinite period of time. There is a point in some states, and this is one of them, where you stop becoming a guest and you start becoming like a tenant. And in this case, these people invite this woman in, and all of a sudden she's getting her mail there, and then she starts saying, no, I've got this right, you've got to evict me. It turns out she's been evicted from 3 or 4 other places as well. Memo, take some free legal advice from a recovering lawyer here. Be really, really careful before you invite people to live in your house.
Well, that's why we're not having people over for Thanksgiving this year.
No, you can't come over.
Come for dinner, but you can't spend the night.
That's right.
You can stand in the front entrance.
Kind of like a drive-through. But here's the other thing that I want to know, because she's got presence of mind enough to know how to wrangle the legal system. She clearly knows what she's doing. But when you look at the condition of the home when she left, it was frightening. It was like something out of Hoarders. I'm wondering, not saying it's an excuse, but I'm wondering what her mental state is. What's her mental health like? And that's a whole other can of worms, because if she does have mental issues, then what do you do about it?
Right, which is sad, but again,
that's
the
no
homeowners,
excuse.
right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's sad, but the homeowner needs the legal rights to be able to be in their own home.
It's like everything's upside down.
Right, and it is unfortunate, because in the homeowner's perspective, they think they're doing something good. They find out about this woman.
The favor turns into
needs a place to stay for a little bit,
bite
and
them
all
in
of
the
a
rear
sudden
end.
it's the tenant from you know where, and they're sitting there saying this can't be. And that's why, again, not to try to discourage people from doing acts of charity and things like that, but you got to be careful, because sometimes there's these unintended consequences, like the person might never leave.
So quickly, if you have a nanny, a live-in nanny, is there paperwork you can draw up, some kind of legal document that they can sign to protect you from this?
Yeah, and the law the law varies from state to state, you know, and so it's going to be different in Wisconsin than it's going to be in Michigan, than it's going to be in New Jersey.
I would think it'd be something you'd look into, though.
Yeah.
Amen.
After this, yeah.
Amen.
And from the quick Google I found, I don't think there's anything like this in Wisconsin. So I think we're in the clear here.
Oh, okay.
Meaning?
Where this could happen here.
Oh, okay. Because the law covers us.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
Coming up next, we're going to reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
And Jesse Ricca back with another look at a cold forecast that's hanging around.
Again, we're joined by Rochelle Fritsch and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. Viewer's choice topic today: Wisconsin struggling to keep college graduates in the state. People call it the brain drain. A lot of UW-Madison students making plans beyond Wisconsin. Can anything be done to keep the college graduates here?
You know, I think there's a lot that's already being done to keep not just college graduates here, but professionals in their 30s. I mean, there's a lot to be done in highlighting what's going on that's right, that makes Milwaukee in particular a vibrant place for people to live. Now, with that said, I think at the same time, things have to be done that make Milwaukee a place that's just good for everybody, and to me that rubs off on college graduates as well. We've got the whole thing about transportation. How do we fix that? How do we make it better? People are interested in alternatives to driving their cars, especially younger people. We're the most segregated city of this size in the U.S. People are looking to have diversity. How do we tackle those larger issues, I think, is the question to make it an all-around better community for everybody.
But here's the reality. You're always going to lose a certain percentage of kids. I mean, if you want to work in the fashion industry, you're going to be attracted to New York. If you want to work in the I don't know, you want to work in the movie industry or something like that, you're probably going to end up going to Los Angeles. There's a number of people in the study that they interview, and they say, hey, we want a different environment. We want a larger urban environment. Did we mention that the weather around here sometimes can be a little bit challenging? But to me, it all comes down to the idea of jobs. I mean, the bottom line is a lot of times when people are getting out of school, they are looking for jobs. I think we're doing some great things, for example, in Milwaukee around the water and that. That's it. If you can find some new cutting-edge industries that people want to work in, you have a greater chance, I think, of attracting people, recognizing that as much as I love this city and as much as I love this state, there's some people who are going to want to spread their wings and go elsewhere, and there's not much you're going to be able to do to keep them.
I agree with that, but I do think that you need to do things. I mean, I think if you look at other cities around our size, they are better places for young professionals. I think Milwaukee's moving toward that. We're doing some things, as you mentioned, but I think that more can be done. I think there's a lot of resist change for making things more vibrant. And
arena, streetcar, a lot of the downtown development. I mean, those are ideas that have been pitched to try and lure these young folks to come downtown.
Well, and I think you should look at
and make a
communities
home.
that are doing it right. You know,
Right.
Denver's a key example. Boise, Idaho is a thriving place for young professionals. So I think that you just, some change has to be made.
Sure,
I
but
think
it
would
starts with
benefit
job
us.
opportunities.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's where it starts with. I mean, it's the job opportunities.
And again, you said bringing in different venues, newer venues
And then-
for people, to be hired and work for these establishments.
But the job opportunities can't just be for professionals, because everybody's not going to be the white collar. We've also got to look at other things like trades, things that'll bring that group in as well, because it all makes a community better.
A smorgasbord.
Yes.
Time for our lightning round. More criticism for President Obama, this time because he was chewing gum at the Asian Pacific Economic Summit in China. The locals are offended. Many Beijing residents taking their frustration to social media. They called the president's chewing rude and inappropriate.
And the
president's
president's been known to chew Nicorette.
Right.
And if you ever needed to try and not have a smoke, it's probably in a stressful international summit. Right?
Well, and that's true. And I mean, personally, I think there's a ton more things we could be concerned about than whether the president's chewing gum or not.
And he could have done ruder things like falling asleep.
But there's that. But here's the thing. I want to know what his handlers are telling him, because they're the ones that are supposed to say, see, we got to remember it. It's
like, remember,
the Chinese.
spit out your gum.
Yeah.
And this,
Right, the
this might be
Chinese are
offensive.
offended about
Right.
this. We're not offended, but he's in their house, basically.
Yeah, see, and I think that, I agree with you. That's the point. Is this the biggest thing? Absolutely not. But apparently, you're a guest. Our relationships are somewhat strained with China, and this apparently is a big deal in that culture. And so I do wonder. I mean, did I think he was intending to be disrespectful? Of course not. But you do
And he probably
wonder.
forgot he was chewing it, honestly.
Yeah, maybe somebody in that limo, before you get out, sticks out their hand with a little tissue and it says, "Mr. President," put it here, and then the whole thing goes away. So I'm not going to be critical of him, but you do wonder, where was the advance work? Because apparently this was a big deal to some people.
Right.
I've got a solution. The president needs a nun to follow him around at all times.
A nun?
A nun.
Is that what they
Spit it out.
Catholic school?
Spit it out.
Or a mom.
Somebody.
It was the nuns that got me. The What's Hot discussion continues online. Find it at tmj4.com/hot.